Yeah, the commentary before was sort of to be pretty blunt about it, every body bag arriving back in Russia, is another family that experiences this war in the worst part firsthand. And that's not really decreasing, right? That's still happening. It's just that right now, Vladimir Putin appears to have shored up his support, but that doesn't mean things couldn't change quickly. Because, you on my program actually a couple of months ago said, watch this space domestically.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The one thing that we know is happening is that there's an enormous amount of jockeying behind the scenes in Russian politics. There's a widespread view that Putin has completely failed in terms of this war, that he's failed in terms of, the timescale, failed in terms of how he assessed the competence of the Russian military, and just failed in terms of the objectives. And this is breeding, concern amongst those who are powerful in Moscow that, well, if he's got that wrong, then, maybe it's time to think about a change. So there is that jockeying that happens behind the scenes. The question is, what kind of incentive do those people have to actually take action? And I think it would take, something becoming a bit more dire, like the Ukrainians achieving a breakthrough in Russian-held Ukraine, that would, further up the pressure on Putin. So I think by no means is he safe and secure. And in fact, that fragility, the longer this war goes on, is probably likely to increase as well.
Just finally, to ask you about the long-range missiles Australia announced it's buying. When you look at the capability we're shaping up to get in this area, is it something that almost gives us a sense of autonomy, that we're defending ourselves, or is this more about contributing to a sort of regional arsenal, if you like, alongside the US and playing our bit? What's the realistic capability we get out of this, if you like?
Yeah, look, I think it's both, Tom. It's, gives us a sort of sovereign capability. We've ordered 200 Tomahawk cruise missiles. That's been on the cards for a while. And I think that makes Australia one of only a handful of nations who operate a cruise missile with 1,500 kilometre radius. And that's quite significant. But then again, in order to protect Australia's lifelines, which are all via sea, you need that range to be able to do so. So I think there's a fair portion of it that's about, sort of littoral defence of Australia, but also a fair portion as well that's said, okay, Australia's developing a force that's interoperable with the US military, and that gives Australia some degree of capability there rather than just be, sort of in a support role. So I think this broadens our overall capabilities and also broadens the options that we have if, in fact, the strategic situation within the region becomes really, really dire.
Matthew, so it's always good to chat. Thank you.